So this is the Ruike P801sf, and I've been told by multiple knife reviewers that this is pronounced rake, but that's not how it's spelled. So I'm going to continue to call it Ruike until they change the spelling. The Ruike P801, as demonstrated in the previous clip, is a knife that opens with a flipper tab. Generally speaking, I'm not all that excited about knives like this, but this knife's under $30 and is put together very well, and the flipper works extremely well, so I do enjoy this knife. This whole knife seems to have what I would call a stonewash finish over the whole knife. The whole knife is constructed of stainless steel. Both the handles, the handles and the blade are stainless steel, and both have a stonewash finish on them. I would have personally liked it if they would have made the handles stonewashed and gave the blade a satin finish or like a polished finish, just to have some contrast there. But they did add these nice little blue accents on the knife to kind of make it stand out a little bit, so that's nice. The Ruike P801 is a knife that is fairly thin in both dimensions, meaning width-wise, like handle width-wise, and then the thickness of the knife are both pretty thin, so it does go into your pocket fairly nicely, and I do enjoy that flipper action on this knife. One thing this knife does come with that a lot of knife nerds are going to like is it has a deep carry pocket clip, which a lot of people really stress about for whatever reason. All that means for me is I had to put a little leather lanyard on it to make it easier to get out of my pocket when my hands are slippery. As you probably saw there, this is a frame lock, which I definitely appreciate. This blade is made out of 14C28N steel, which I believe is also referred to as Sandvik steel. And according to Pete over at Cedric and Ada's blade steel tests, it seems to hold an edge similar to VG10, and Spyderco charges like $80 for a knife of VG10 steel. I definitely like the blade shape on this knife. It's about my perfect blade shape and everything. I like drop points with full flat grinds. The thumb studs or blade stops, or whatever they are, they don't stop the blade. They're not really usable as thumb studs. They're really just more for a aesthetic look, but they're out of the way, so they don't get in the way of you cutting food, so that's nice. But it's a fairly well ground, fairly thin, full flat ground drop point, so it does cut food really well, and slices through everything else very well as well. So yeah, it's a good cutting knife. So anyway, the Ruike P801, or Rake P801, has become one of my favorite modern folding knives, right up there with my Rat 1 in D2 steel. And this knife is just a little bit more comfortable to use than that knife. That knife takes the edge just because of the D2 steel and the fact that the handle scales are dyed purple by me. Other than that, this is a great knife, and it costs less than the Rat 1 in D2, and you get better steel than the Rat 1 with AUS 8. So overall, if you're looking for a new modern folding knife and you like flippers and stuff, and smooth, I don't know if this uses bearings or washers or what it uses, but it's really smooth, and it is definitely a nice knife to use. I think the blade length is somewhere around 3.5 inches, so it's not going to be legal everywhere, so keep that in mind.